So Regan, you've been an avid fly fisherman for many years. Where did you fish when you lived up in the Surrey area?
Well, uh, I fished pretty near every stream and brook up in the Surrey area, but I became curious about the names of some of these fishing holes, and I want to tell you about one especially, and it's called Mary Jane's Hole, and it's up New Fraser River, and I was fishing there for 4 or 5 times in a row when I first went there, and finally there was a fellow on the north side that I was going fishing with, and I said, "Who is Mary Jane?" Just out of the blue. And he told me there was he said an old Indian living just down from the hole, down in the woods down there somewhere. And I said, "Really?" Anyhow, the next day I took the canoe back up there by myself. I went looking for Mary Jane and where she lived. And I found out a lot about Mary Jane and what she did up there. She made baskets, and in the New Fraser area out there, the Lutzes have a few of them. She made small baskets with sweetgrass on them, right? And this was back in 1920s. Anyhow, my travels through the woods, I finally found where she was. And there was remnants there, and right in the middle of the woods, first of all, you find things like apple trees, rose hips, all these kind of things. For no reason, an apple tree in the middle of the woods. And there was still, like I call it, historic old tin pots and everything still sticking out of the ground, right in that area. And true to what I found before about native cultures up in that area, it was a dugout area, probably 10 by 12, down about 1.5 feet, and they had some type of shelter over the top. They always dug these out, And so I learned a lot about Mary Jane and understanding, it wasn't just the fact that I was up there fishing. I got curious about the areas too that I fished in. Yeah.
Did you find when you were fishing much Atlantic salmon in your time?
Well, yes, New Fraser River. A lot of people don't realize that you can buy a salmon fishing license and fish New Fraser River. Everybody thinks you can only fish Morel and some other river, right? But that's not true. That license pertains to every river. So I was up there fishing salmon with the license, and I had caught 2 salmon on the way down. And the way down, I was stopped by a fisheries officer. He wondered what I was doing up there.
Yeah.
Somebody had told them because there was other people up there. Right? But anyhow, at the same time, I lost my wallet up there. And I remember quite well. And I had just cashed my check from where I was working, and it was $500 and some, and I lost it all, and I never found it. Anyhow, I came back the next day looking for it, and the same game warden came after me again the second time, and I didn't even have a fishing rod this time, and he was really curious what I was doing up there. Anyhow, so those things happen.
Yeah. How big were the salmon that you caught?
Well, you're only allowed to take grill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd say 24 inches.
Yes.
24 inches, probably 3 pounds. But I did catch a big, probably in the 10 to 12 pound range. I had to let it go.
Yeah.
But I caught, the biggest trout I ever caught was in the same place, Mary Jane's Hole. It was 27 3/4 inches long. I never weighed it, but I swear it was over 10 pounds. And it was a beautiful trout. I should never have taken it home. After I got it home, I realized it was a female, and after that, I would release all the females and keep the males. And so it just became, that was a sad thing to do. It bothered me.
You also fish rainbow?
Oh yeah, when when the rainbow started in Surrey River.
How did the rainbow start in Surrey River? Regan?
Yeah, well, there was we used to have this Fish and Wildlife. We used to have this Father's Day fishing tournament. What was the name of that?
Family fishing day?
It was a fishing derby. We used to have
Yeah.
back of Major Reeds. And,
Yes, we used to block off this little dam. There was a small little dam, and stock it with rainbow trout. Right? Well, anyhow, I guess the third year we didn't do a very good job of blocking them off because everybody fished all day long, never caught anything, and they couldn't understand. They all got out. And about 2 years later, they started showing up in the Surrey River just like crazy and big. They're like, I'm talking 4 or 5 pound rainbow trout. I was trying to hide it for a while, but it's pretty hard to do because it's a small stream, and once they know, I'd be down there a lot of times telling them, let them go, let those big trout go. You know, I'd be trying to impress on them that. Like they're a brooding stock. Don't be taking them. They're no good. They don't taste good or nothing. I told them everything.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Yeah. Do you have any funny fishing stories with going out with friends, or was it sort of a solitary pursuit?
Well, no, I've been out with friends, but no. Oh, well, this it's not a. I got the scare of my life. I was fishing, and believe it or not, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I was fishing about 11 o'clock at night. It was moonlit night. I guess I shouldn't have been, but they were still biting anyhow. I was in this boat, little low boat, all by myself, and I heard something crawl into the boat, and I turned around. I could barely see it, but I gave it a whack with my $45 fishing rod at the time, my fly rod, snapped it right off. It turned out it was a muskrat, crawled into the boat with me. Well, I never went out of the boat. Like it's just things like that. You never forget those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.